I think the world's greatest need right now, this theme keeps coming to me, and it's love. I think love is the essence of everything, and I think it's at the core of everything. All problems, if we approach them from a loving perspective, I think that's the healing essence. The word keeps coming to me at the moment in so many ways. I do lots of heart meditations. I work a lot with energy, and I believe that, the healing heart energy is the strongest energy. And I have actually just published a second book, and in doing that I created my own publishing firm, which I've actually called Project Heart Publishing, because that's where my writing comes from, the heart. And I just think love can heal so many things. There's anxieties, and there's so many traumas that I deal with in my working life, and love of the self as well, very important. That's what the world needs more of. I don't think that we are meant to walk this world alone. I think that support is very important. I do see in my work that I do now a lot of people who feel they don't have that support, and it can be quite damaging. A lot of people who've been traumatised, even though support may be right there, waiting to be invited in, sometimes, as we know, the barriers go up, and people choose to block themselves away a little bit in an attempt to protect themselves. So I think support is, it goes hand in hand with being a little bit vulnerable, because I think in order to receive the support, we need to open up, we need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. But in being vulnerable also, there is that additional concern for some people that they're going to be hurt further. So in the IVF setting, in order to protect themselves, people do sometimes shut themselves off, and they do keep it secret. They don't talk about it because the additional pressure that is put on them by, their perceived pressure, that is, by well-meaning people asking questions, a lot of questions, and it can just serve to deepen their sorrow, I suppose, if they haven't had the outcomes that they were desiring to have. But yeah, I think if we can allow ourselves to be vulnerable, if we can allow ourselves to be, and it's about being honest, isn't it? I think it's about being honest and being true to yourself. And I suppose even, again, for myself personally, we are all on a journey, and every day is an experience. Every day gives us something to take away from if we're open to that. Peace is something that is achievable for each and every one of us, but it's not an external thing. I believe it's an internal thing. It comes from within, and I think that it's available to us in this moment. And should we choose, I keep using the word choose because I believe we always have choices. We can choose one thing, or we can choose something else. And the things that we choose make the difference in our experiences. Peace comes when we begin to understand that we do have a choice, that we can take a breath and be present again a lot. Again, I mentioned similar themes, but being present in this moment, very much about mindfulness, and to be here and now is what peace is about, and not being in the future where that anxiety or that fear exists or may not exist, but we believe it to be true whether it is or not. Just being here and now in the present, that's where the peace exists. Freedom to me is to be able to do what I choose to do within the boundaries that's possible. Freedom is all about the mind, really, because I think no matter what our bodies are doing or what restrictions we have on us physically, our minds are free always to take us anywhere, to imagine anything, to experience and to feel. I think that comes very much from looking not at what we are being limited by, not at what we can't do, not at the physical pain or the physical trauma, but by looking at what we can do, what we do have, the positive side, and my work that I do is very solution focused. My writing is solution focused. And again, on my own journey, I encountered, and I've written, this is a little bit of a blurb in the back of the book, but I haven't gone into too much detail, but I have had my own adversities, we all have, and I was taking on a lot, and anyway I ended up with an autoimmune condition, which is an epidemic in the world we live now, and so I had a experience which was really challenging and very painful, and I couldn't walk for a while. I had a wheelie walker, and walking is what I do. I walk, that's my exercise. I love to walk in nature. So I was challenged very much, and I could sometimes not even walk a couple of steps. So wheelchair, wheelie walker, crutches, the works. And this went on for a long time, and constant pain in my body. So this is where I very much got into meditation, even more so. I already was, but even more so, to heal my body. But what I did, I knew what I could do. I had fingers, I could tap, and I thought, I've got time. My mind is perfect. My body might not be, but my mind is. So that's when I actually chose to write my book. That's when I chose to write Sarah's Story. So that book was born out of an opportunity. So it gave me that opportunity, and I'm very grateful. It also gave me enormous insight into what it's like to live in a disabled world for a while, enormous insight and enormous empathy. So, and that all of those experiences helped me in my further writing as well.